Ray Lucas enjoyed an NFL career longer than most, playing 8 years for the Patriots, Jets, Dolphins, and Ravens. Getting the chance to play in the league, well, that didn't exactly come the conventional way. Ray has a new book out entitled Under Pressure: How Playing Football Almost Cost Me Everything and Why I Do It All Again. Here's part one of our conversation this week with Ray. So your college career ends, and on draft day, your name doesn't get called.
Right.
And you picked up the phone. Tell me about it.
Well, I remember talking to Parcells at the Combines, and I said, maybe, you know, and you get all these cards from the Combine. So the first one I pulled out was the New England Patriots, called it up, and I got Mike Pope, who was the tight ends coach at the time, and I asked him if I could talk to Coach Parcells. And he said, hold on, which to me was shocking because I figured I had to call back 37 times for them to get me to him. And then about 10 minutes later, Parcells' voice came on the phone, and he said, what the do you want? And I said, just a shot. I'll do anything. I don't care what it is. I'll do anything. Just bring me up there with the rookies. I'll show you I can play. And he paused for like probably 10 seconds, which felt like 5 hours for me. He put me on hold with that stupid elevator music stuff. You know, I'm sweating and I'm nervous. And he says, all right, I'm sending you a plane ticket, kid. Be ready. And that was it.
Tell me about the moment when you found out you made the New England Patriots.
I go take a shower, and the lady comes downstairs, and I'm one of the last people down there because I was just afraid to go upstairs. And he said, we want to keep you if you want to stay. And I must have said it like 50 times in my head. Keep you, we want to keep you. And I said, what does that mean? And he said, well, we're going to sign you. And I said, okay, I'll sign right now. And he said, well, no, you need, you know, your agent or your lawyer. I said, I don't have an agent. I don't need a lawyer. I'll sign whatever. Put the paper there. I'll sign it. And he's like, no, dumb, you can't do it that way. And he said, I'm going to give you some money. And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, I'm going to give you $2,500, which to me at that time was about $2 million. And I kept saying, let me sign, let me sign. And he was like, I'm done with you. Well, I'll figure it out. So I got the check. I get to the plane, and I remember the stewardess saying, are you a New England Patriot? And like I burst out in tears, and I said, yeah, I am. Yes, I am.
Parcells leaves, and Pete Carroll takes over. And in training camp, you described not getting much of an opportunity.
None.
What did Pete do? What did he say to you as they were cutting you at the end of training camp?
Sorry, but I just don't think you're good enough to play in the NFL. And said something else, but that's the only thing I heard. And then he put his hand out, and I was sitting there, and I was thinking, what's the best way to you know, to tell him I was going to spit on his hand. But I know in Jersey, you spit on somebody's hand, there's no other form of disrespect that you could possibly do. And I stood up, and I said, you have not heard the last of me. Mark my words.
But another door opened up pretty quickly with Bill in New York.
6:30 in the morning, the phone rings in my apartment, and I was hot because it was 6:30 in the morning. I wasn't feeling too good. And he just came on and he said, what the F is going on down there? And I put my hand over the phone, and I looked at my wife, and I said, Bill. And she was like, talk, like, you know, because I was just standing there like in shock. And I said, Coach, you didn't give me any opportunity. He said, okay, well, I got something for you. If you don't make the flight to Providence Airport in 50 minutes, don't ever bother coming. I took the shoulder the whole way to Providence Airport. I made it by like 10 minutes.
98, we all know what happened. You know, came so close in Denver. In 99, everybody in the tri-state area expected this to be a Super Bowl team. Yeah. And Vinny goes down in game one.
Right.
And all of a sudden, the next week, you're the guy. Tell me about what's going through your mind as you see this all unfold.
When I saw him get hurt, I wanted to run out there. You know what I mean? Like, are you all right? And then when he came to the sideline, I said, are you all right, Ben? He said, no. I've never heard him say anything remotely to that point. So they let Rick Meyer run the show for, 3 or 4 weeks, and we were getting shellacked. And you could tell Parcells didn't sleep. You could just tell when he walked into the meeting room. And he says, this kid's starting. I don't care if we lose every game. Either you get behind him or you don't. I don't give a... So I turned around and looked to see who he was pointing to. And Vinny's hysterical laughing behind me. He's like, he's freaking talking to you. And it was like, wait, what? And he's like, dude, you're going to start.
It began the run, but it also began probably a time where the real hits started to come.
When you start playing quarterback and people put their helmet in your spine and drive you into the ground, which was allowed back then, that gave me pause because the hits hurt. But when you get hit when you're not looking, it's a car accident. And when somebody explained it to me that way, I understood it then after my first big hit. I was like, oh my God, like, that hurt.